What an absolutely wonderful view to start today's walk. Fantastic. I'm looking down into the valley of the River Dove again. I'm just above Milldale. I'm going to be dropping into Milldale in a few minutes, but I just wanted to take in this view before I start the walk. Wow, hardly a soul around Milldale today. I mean, it is only just after 9 AM, but it's incredible when I think I was here yesterday doing my Dovedale walk, but I got here around lunchtime and it was absolutely heaving because it was another lovely day like it is now. It's nice to see it quiet, actually. I don't think I've come to Milldale when it's been this quiet before. It's lovely being here in Milldale when it's so quiet. I'm just trying to make the most of it before I move on. Wow. Okay, well I am going to carry on now, so I'm going to continue following the River Dove upstream now. I walked up the lane, following the River Dove upstream. Very soon, I reached a T-junction at the bridge beside the old load mill. Here I exited Staffordshire as I crossed the bridge to enter Derbyshire, where I immediately turned left along the riverside path. Going through a gap stile, I was now walking through the beautiful Wolfscote Dale. I was just thinking of that National Trust volunteer I met on my walk yesterday through Dovedale, when he was telling me about all these bizarre complaints that he's seen when he's read TripAdvisor, and somebody complained about the fact that there was no Wi-Fi in Dovedale. Something else he told me, which I forgot to mention yesterday, was somebody complained about Milldale. Now that beautiful little hamlet back there, just a few houses, not much there, it's a beautiful location, and apparently somebody had written on TripAdvisor complaining that there weren't enough shops. I said to this volunteer, I said, well, what the flipping heck did they expect? A bloody Sainsbury's in the middle of Milldale. It really is bizarre, and I'm sure a lot of these people, as I said yesterday, they must have their tongue firmly in their cheek when they say these things, because you really can't take things like that seriously. But on the flip side, it makes it interesting reading for us viewers that read TripAdvisor complaints. Hey ho. I often talk about my very first trip to the Peak District, which was way back in 1986, long before I moved to the area. Now, during that particular trip, I remember staying in Ilam Hall Youth Hostel. Now, I spent the night there, and then the next day, my walk was taking me through Dovedale. And it was probably the easiest walk I did that week, because I think it was only about 10 miles or so. And I think, well, almost all of the walk that day was spent walking beside the River Dove. And I remember loving Dovedale. But of course, as you follow the path beside the river further upstream, the names of the dales change. Now, I don't think I actually realised that at the time. I think the whole of the dales between the stepping stones at Dovedale and Hartington, I think it is collectively, or they are collectively known as Dovedale, but there are dales that have different names along this part. So Dovedale itself is the main bit near where the stepping stones are up to Milldale, and then of course that becomes Milldale, and then there are different dales as you head further upstream. Wolfscote Dale is a twisting, steep-sided gorge, thickly wooded in parts, but also opening out to smooth grassy slopes, broken by spectacular limestone crags. One thing I've noticed about today's walk so far is that compared to yesterday, it's a lot less busy. Now, when you bear in mind that, as I say, this is the first week of kids going back to school after the summer holidays, and yesterday I got to Dovedale Stepping Stones before 7:30 to make sure that I got there before the area just flocked with lots of people, which was great. But as the morning went on, it got busier and busier and busier with lots of other walkers. And I passed quite a few walkers today so far, but compared to yesterday, it is a lot quieter. I don't know if that means that this part of the valley of the River Dove is less walked in general, I don't know. I mean, I know that Dovedale is a real hotspot in the Peak District, but it's lovely up here as well, and I just wonder if this part just tends to be generally a lot less visited. I mean, the whole area is beautiful, as I said before. And despite the crowds, when you do see the crowds, and particularly yesterday, as I was saying, it just shows how popular the area is. So can't complain really. Just you can't sort of complain about people coming to this area because, well, it just speaks for itself. Wow, that was a close one. I nearly fell in then. Okay, I should go back now then. Well, after headbutting the pump house and then nearly falling into the River Dove, I continued my walk through Wolfscote Dale. Beyond Gypsy Bank Bridge, I found another cave off the path to my right, so I climbed up to take a quick look. Heading back down to the main riverside path, I was now approaching the point where Wolfscote Dale was joined by Biggindale. Okay. Now, it's getting interesting now. So, just up there, that's Biggindale there. I'm not going to be walking up Biggindale today. I'm going to carry on walking up the path beside the River Dove. As I passed below Drabber Tor to my left, Wolfscote Dale was just getting more and more spectacular as I walked on, and I continued to enjoy more of its dramatic limestone crags. There's a heron up there. Bloody great big bird on the hillside. Wow. It's been really nice coming out these last couple of days. And it's been like yesterday and today. It's been like the weather we should have had in August. Because that month was pretty underwhelming actually weather-wise. You know, it was cooler than it should be for that time of the year, and there wasn't a lot of sunshine, so not a great month. So these 2 days at the start of September are making up for it. That's why I thought I'd get out whilst I can. And I always take this particular week off anyway, to say, because I know that kids have gone back to school. To me it's a great time to get out and walk, because all being well, most of these hot spots should be a lot less busy once kids are back at school. So that was lovely. I think today is the last of the 2 days though, you know, so we've had yesterday and today, and tomorrow I think the weather's going to change again, so I don't know when I'm going to get out again after today. It's supposed to be thunderstorms tomorrow, and certainly the temperature is supposed to be getting cooler again. We'll see. So yeah, it's just nice to make the most of it whilst the sun's out, I think. I do love these gaff styles. It's not bad here in Wolfscote Dale, is it? Not bad at all. Certainly a lot worse places to be. This is a day well spent, I would say. Very well spent. Well, I don't think there's much further to go now in Wolfscote Dale. So, once I get to the end of the dale, I'll be turning off and taking another route back to where I parked my car this morning. So, yeah, this really is just beautiful, isn't it? How many times can I say it? Wonderful. My path had indeed reached the end of Wolfscote Dale as I came to a gate beside Frankith Rocks Bridge. Okay, so I've now reached the end of Wolfscote Dale, so the Dove continues upstream into the next dale, but I'll save that dale for the next walk. In the meantime, I'm going to cross the Dove and the rest of my walk's going to be back in Staffordshire. Turning left at the junction, I crossed the bridge, following the path signposted to Narrowdale and Alstonefield. The path curved gently to the left as I moved away from the River Dove to head southwards. Passing some farm buildings, I climbed steadily above the dry valley of Narrowdale. Eventually, after a series of stiles, I made my way towards the village ahead. Well, I'm now in the gorgeous village of Alstonefield, which is where my car is parked and from where I began my walk this morning. Alstonefield is a delightfully unspoilt and peaceful village, standing 900 feet up on a plateau between the Dove and Manifold valleys. Its grey stone cottages are grouped around a charming village green, complete with the village inn, the George, a popular dining destination, which is definitely worth a visit. The lovely old St. Peter's Church is mostly 14th and 15th century, but retains a Norman doorway and chancel arch. The church contains the family pew, formerly used by the Cottons from nearby Beresford Hall. Oh well, the George is closed sadly, but there you go. It's a lovely pub though. I remember doing my back in my 1986 holiday, when I walked from Ilham Hall, where I stayed, and then walked up Dovedale, and I got to Milldale by about lunchtime. I walked up to Alstonefield from there, and I had lunch in the George. It was lovely. I can't remember exactly what I had, but I bet it would have been something like pie and chips, because I always tend to like pie and chips in pubs. But it was a nice meal, and then that's when, from Alstonefield, I carried on up the River Dove and walked up through Wolfscote Dale, and finally reaching Hartington, where I stopped that night. I would have had another evening meal, so I make no apology, I've always liked my food. There you go. Oh well, the end of another lovely walk, and I'll continue following the River Dove on my next walk, I think.